impromptu live stream. It's kind of a dreary day. I'm driving around. I got a little time to kill. I figure it's good for a live stream, right? Even if I'm planned. I guess nobody else does because I'm the only person in here. That's fine. Oh wait, we got somebody in here. We're gonna get on the highway and then we'll see if the reception improves. I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna find out. There you are. Okay, you got me. Patrick's got me. Damn, we're getting up to speed. And we're good. Alright. How's everybody doing? Can't complain. Really? You can't complain? I can complain. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just thinking about the the demeanor of people and society and shit, and it's just like fascinating. I don't know. Like I'm really good. Like in my own existence, I'm really good. Where I'm like, where any kind of negativity or stress comes in, it's like in interacting with regular ass people. And I've always been kind of I guess like very sensitive to perceiving people's not unintended communication of like how they, like when I usually talk to people and shit, it's really kind of a burden, in a way. It's not like a good thing, but like I perceive people's like if they're really happy or whatever and they're like oozing it out, like their energy, for lack of a better word, I sense that. But I also sense it with if they're in despair or like stress or something like that. And that would be like the present, because basically, like, I think to describe the present situation of everybody in the world, it's like there's this catharsis coming, and the unwillingness to face it honestly is like is going to be like a huge source of future stress and conflict for humanity, for people. And I think that they, like deep down they already know that. So it's like that's how it expresses itself in energy that gets released from a person, like when they're interacting with other people. Whether I don't know if everybody's sensitive to that or not, but like I can tell. I always can tell. Like when I work in I worked in like retail sales and stuff before in stores, and whenever there's like like the media has some kind of tragedy or something like that, it's very easy for me to notice the difference just in people that I've never even met before. Just because if you see people coming in, like especially if you work somewhere that's not even like location based, like if you work on an interstate or something. Like I'm sure the gas station people that are really smart understand this. If they're sharp, like the people coming in off the highway, and it's almost like a thermometer or something. It's like you can tell day to day like what the kind of average temperament is, and as shit gets fucked up, then they start to become more irrational, and it just kind of, and they don't realize it. Like they don't understand that this is, they think it's like just them. It's just an interesting thing. I keep on getting like, I guess it just goes with the territory, right? But like I keep getting, there's a lot of people that I don't want to say, I don't want to use the word lot. It's because it's not a lot. It's a very small number of people that want to label what I'm doing as like, well, they use the term anti-Semitic. I've already addressed this at least like, I'm sure. So, I'm not gonna do it anymore. But number one, the term anti-Semitic is really dishonest. It's like a very insincere term. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that term, so I don't even use it. I don't ever like recognize the term. But it's amazing. Like now I know this just because people like send me emails and shit. Like people send me like emails of like screen caps. People send me that's a salt dog. People send me screen caps of forums and shit, or like comment sections on videos and shit of like, I guess they just stumble on it or whatever, and then they find somebody like talking about me, about these videos in particular, and then making a judgment on, they make a judgment on what I'm doing, and it's very, it's just interesting. It's a trip how brains work, like how the human spirit is, and how it sees the world. And like I look at, so when I see that, I just see like a victim, right? Like I see somebody that has made the world into the condition that it is. That's what I see. I don't take it like personally offensive or anything. I just think it's, it just shows me that there's a lot of work to be done to get humanity to a place where they're honest, and hopefully we get over that hump sooner rather than later, because it's really annoying. Like I think all the shit that's going on, like how crazy the fucking world is right now, would be more tolerable if people acknowledged it. I think the most painful aspect of it are weak people pretending like it isn't the way that it is, and liars, like deceitful people that are more comfortable with purveying and perpetuating deceit, or creating their own brand new deceit to try to either avoid the catharsis themselves, by denying it to other people, or if they're like already at that catharsis, being like malicious and doing it, right? And that's like the I don't know. It's just a trip. It's a trip. And what's interesting is like, it's really great because it's like, I can't really be hurt, because I'm basically already a ghost walking around this motherfucker. Like I might as well be, wearing a Casper costume. In terms of like how I have developed over time to see the world. It's like, there's nothing here that's vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like in physicality, like even threats that people can make against me. It's just like I'm ready to. Don't take this the wrong way, right? Like, don't take this like Dugan's sad, or, he's upset or anything like that, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just getting into deep thought here, is all. Right? But there's not much that like a person, like I view my life now more like a helper than I do a consumer, right? Like I don't really view it like when I was younger, like growing up, I used to always view it like, my interface with the world would be about my, like what can I get out of it. And now, I've transitioned into a different identity of who I am to myself, like what my own self-conception, where it's like I just don't think in those terms anymore. And I don't mean that like an egotistical thing. I just mean like, I don't have any joy or pleasure in self-satisfaction. You know what I mean? Like my satisfaction is an expression to other people. So I don't get, I'm not like upset. Like when somebody calls me, accuses me of thinking something that I don't, or representing something that I don't, that they see. I don't get upset. I'm not like upset about it. It's just like a barometer of how much more work the world has to do. If that makes sense. Let's see. What else do I want to say? What should we talk about? I did have, like, somebody left a comment. Somebody left a comment that was like, they thought that it was like sad. You know what I mean? And that kind of bummed me out, because if somebody like is looking at me with their perception and then sizes me up as sad, then it's like, it's just because the material, right? Like the nature of the material. But and that's really unfortunate, because that's gonna if somebody looks at it and thinks that it's sad, then they're going to like reflect that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna make them sad, and that's not good. But it's like I'm just reflecting the way that I see the world as it is, and like humanity made it that way. You know what I mean? So people made it that way by not cleaning up their messes. You know what I mean? And not acknowledging like the rotting foundation, and just always slapping a new coat of paint on it over and over again, until now it's like completely corroded, like a termite infestation that you slap like a brand new coat of like Behr paint over. And you have like eggshell white paint, like a heavy thick layer over the top of your like base plates that are just completely eaten out by termites. You know what I mean? That's humanity in a sense right now. And people that view this as they view it as like, this is sad, like you're not joyful and stuff. That's just your perception. Like I'm very fulfilled, and becoming more fulfilled each day, and happy. And the shit that I'm talking about is just a reflection of what's here. Like I'm just simply like looking at what is right the fuck in front of our faces, and just saying like, look at that. And that's it. That's like that is what's going on. But I think I understand. Yeah, I think I get where they're coming from. Yeah, the plant, like getting into growing your own food, especially what's really cool is seed saving. Like seed saving's really fun. And it's crazy when you first get into seed saving, because it seems really complicated, and it's really not. You just have to use like some form of consideration of cross-pollination, so you don't get crazy ass hybrids and shit. But that's like probably I think it's like one of the coolest things. Like I'm gonna be planting sunflowers this year from last year's crop, and I just have like I don't know how many seeds I have. I mean, it's just huge. Like I've got like little like a yogurt container that you get, like a quart. I've got those just filled up with various types of sunflower seeds, and then it's really cool when you just like pour them out, and then they're already naturally selected out for your environment, like your local environment. I think that stuff's really cool. What's going on in the news? Anything going on in the news right now? Yeah. Now, so Patrick, what I would suggest is to, before it gets cold, I would get into like a cold frame so that you can like if you plant like mustard greens or kale or chard or something like that, and you throw it in like a cold frame, you're gonna be able to pull vegetables from that like all the way into when it's heavy snow and shit. And all that is like, you just get some wood that's as tall as your plants need to be, and then you put a sheet of glass on it, and put it on the ground, and that'll help keep your temperature differential high enough to maintain like cold hardy plants all the way into late winter. No, we shouldn't blow up China. That's not like, well, we'll get back to that. Yeah. So, and then another one thing that's really interesting, I thought it was really interesting. So like cilantro, I always think, like most people, I would assume, or at least I'll put it this way, I think of cilantro like a hot weather crop, you know what I mean? Because you always eat cilantro in, like a lot of summer dishes and stuff. But cilantro is actually like a very cold weather plant, so it does really well in the cold. And then during the heat, like in intense heat, it bolts really easily. So you can grow cilantro in like really cold temperatures. Yeah, I don't do hydroponics. I do like, I grow plants. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? For gardening, so Patrick said it's a lot to learn, and that's true. But the best way to do it is just to just get seed and just start planting seed. You know what I mean? And be prepared to go through failure so that you can learn exactly what works for you in your particular environment and your availability to tend to it, right? And a lot of people get really caught up in I'm guilty of it, of looking at books for like years about a topic and then never getting my hands dirty with it, but always intending to, and then just not coming to the realization that I could have just jumped into it and then learned on the fly, and then you would have had the experience build up the entire time that you were learning. And that's the way to do gardening, for sure, or for any kind of plant propagation, or really really anything, but particularly like for gardening and shit like that. And a big thing, now I will say this, a huge thing that really helps a lot is mulch, or ground cover, like covering the ground so that you're not fucking with grass. Like, they put fucking grass everywhere after grass became a commercial product, but in the United States there used to be a standard of clover, which is actually a lot better, because clover, it fixes nitrogen out of the air and deposits it into soil, because clover, like once you get a clover established, it'll link up with like rhizome systems in the root system, and then together it's it's like a biopaired relationship that allows the fixing of nitrogen. So you actually, you just make your soil, any of your dirt becomes better over time and more suitable for planting with clover. But pretty much everywhere is covered in grass, and the grass like sucks, and you have to fucking cut it all the time. And if you're planting shit in it, if you don't like clear it out, you're like constantly, having to maneuver around your plants that you planted, getting where they are and shit because the grass is covering them, and then you're losing sunlight and all this shit. And mulch really helps with that. Like if you try to just do what you can to clear grass, if you don't have a winter period between when you're plan to plant and when you make your garden, or between when you like you do it two ways. You could either like before winter put down something that kills the grass, or put like a bunch of mulch, like heavy mulch, and then let the grass die naturally underneath it, and then you're good to go in the spring. It usually takes like over the winter to do it. Or you can clear cut all of your, like cut your grass as low as possible to where it's just stubs, and then cover it with ground cover like mulch or something, and then you're good to go. You want to plant something and it pops out, and then you get your like weed suppression and shit like that. Yeah, taters. I've got a bunch of taters that I didn't plant, and they're like still on my porch, and they're all like shooting out stalks and stuff now. I probably should just put them in the ground, I guess. I haven't. I've been wasting my time doing these streams, so I haven't gotten around to it. Okay, so I'm at my destination, so I'm gonna end this live stream, and then maybe we'll start up like one more here in like 15 minutes.